Mickey Manila.
You just wanted us to stop talking about
that.
Only got one person.
Tell me when you're ready. Tell me when you're ready.
That's Stuart Gardner? Stuart Gardner? Or is that right?
It's probably Stuart.
Nice.
We do have an amendment to the minutes, both sets. It's real easy. Christina was actually at both, so we will add her on as being present.
Okay.
So when you do the minutes, I remember to add that.
Christina, what is her last name?
Grover.
Grover?
Mm-hmm.
I can't understand you.
Grover. I know. I'm far enough. I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Who wants to make that change? You guys just want to call her? You want her to say something myself?
Yeah.
Well, when y'all vote on it, just mention it that as amended.
I will.
Oh, the phones are off, let me tell you. I've corrected the time on the phones twice since I've been here. I usually go by the clocks. It says 6:27. It's actually 6:30, and that clock is a little off too. So I'm going to go by. So we can get started. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. It is 6:30, and I hereby call this meeting to order. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll? You can call it.
Michael Nolan.
Here.
Ms. Doris White. Yvonne Broadus. Here. Chairman Shoemaker.
Here. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Also, I want to officially welcome you to as our new official board member. So thank you, and appreciate you serving on the BZA and also being our secretary. Next, we have the review and adoption of the meeting agenda.
If it would be easier, Christina can call the roll because she's going to be voting anyway. It's up to y'all.
Okay.
Would that be easier for you?
When we talked about me maintaining the secretary, that was the one thing that we said would differ.
Yeah.
Was the polling.
So if that's okay, Christina. Sure.
Great. Thank you very much. Next, we have the review and the adoption of the meeting agenda. If there are no changes, I would entertain a motion to adopt the meeting agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second that.
And I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, the meeting agenda is hereby adopted. Next, we have consideration of the meeting minutes for July 21st, 2021. I understand there are some changes for that.
I'd like to make a motion that it is amended to include Christine Grover in attendance at that meeting, July 21st.
Any objections? Okay, I'm going to entertain a motion to accept the July 21st minutes as amended.
I make a motion that we accept as amended.
Do I have a second?
Yes, sir. I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Meeting minutes for July 21st are approved. Next, we have the consideration of the meeting minutes for August 4th, 2021. Also understand there are some changes for that.
Again, I'd like to request that we amend it to include Christine Grover in attendance.
Any objections? I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The minutes for August 4th are approved. Thank you, Madam Secretary, for putting those minutes together. Thanks for the corrections. Next, we have the public comment period. Speakers will have the opportunity of 3 minutes per individual or 5 minutes per group. Speakers were asked to include their name and their district you reside in. And these are basically, this is a public comment period on non-public hearing matters. If you're in the Zoom chat, you can put something in the chat window if you want to speak. And I believe it's also, you can raise your hand using Alt-Y. And also, if you're on the phone, you can do *9. So this is the public comment period. We're going to open that now. Are there any individuals wishing to speak at this time? Is there one person in line? Nothing in the chat?
Sorry.
Great. All right, hearing none, I'll then go ahead and close the public comment period. Next, we have no unfinished business, so we'll go ahead and move on to the new business. Under the new business, we have the discussion of the BZA applications for filing, for filling the current vacancy. There is currently 1 vacancy to fill on the board. I would like the board to come to consensus on who we would like to recommend filling the vacancy. We have 2 applications before us, Amanda Walker and Jeanette Wagner. I believe a couple of you are in favor of Ms. Walker. So before I ask for consensus, I'd like to ask if there's any questions or comments from the board. Anybody has any?
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to make a comment that my support of Amanda Walker is based on her presence in King William County at various board meetings and other areas where she has shown that she is incredibly civic-minded. And additionally, I find her to be thoughtful and honest with regards to the way that she presents herself and others in the community, such as in her writing in the Country Courier. So I just wanted to mention that was the basis of my support for her as the candidate.
Thanks, Ms. Broadus.
I don't know either candidate personally, but I yield to Yvonne's comments.
Okay. All right, and I personally know Ms. Walker as well as Ms. Wagner. So I'm good for either. So I'm excited that both of them are interested. So if no one has any objections, I would like to ask for consensus that this board recommend Amanda Walker to fill the current vacant position. Are there any objections?
No.
Okay, confirming no objections, I'll put together a letter for the Board of Supervisors confirming the board's general consensus for recommending Amanda Walker. Thank you all very much.
And Yvonne, you desire to continue on as secretary?
I thought that since I just started that yes, I would. You know, instead of just jumping ship really quickly.
I only asked because
writing the meeting minutes isn't extremely time consuming or difficult, and Krista had worked with me a number of times to get me up to speed on formatting. Sure. And so right as I got into a groove, I didn't want to jump ship. So.
And I only asked because with Yvonne now being a full board member, I didn't know if that up the secretary where we could build those.
Well,
there can be a member being a secretary, so
right, and that's why I did. And now, if there was someone outside of, I didn't want to throw it back in Krista's lap. Just to be honest with you,
sure.
I mean, I'm sure she probably doesn't, mind, but like I said, I had just come on and she had worked with me those first months, just getting me up to speed on you know, the way that things were done here in the counties regarding the minutes and stuff. So I kind of felt that I just didn't want to, you know, dump it back in her lap. But if there is someone outside that would like to come in and help with that task, you know, and I'm willing to give it back to Krista too. I mean, I just
it'll come back up
In January.
in January, so we can actually read.
Yeah, I wasn't going in that direction.
Yeah,
And,
true.
you know, I totally appreciate you wanting to do it, and no sense of find out you're doing.
So thank you.
I only offered that we have 2 applicants. We had both participate in some format or another. Just a thought.
And again, I'm totally supportive of that idea. And just like Sherry said, in January we would you know, revisit the secretarial duties anyway. So if there was, you know, if there was someone else interested in it, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
But thank
Just
you.
remind me when it comes up.
It's not very often that you have that many people interested in participating in county government. So when you have that interest, you want to capture it. That was my thought.
Okay, that was the last item of business we had. Ms. Graham, did you want to give us, did you have any updates that you wanted to share with us?
I can give you a few updates of some applications that have come in. We have a Dollar General that they're proposing. We have a couple of rezoning cases that will be going before the Planning Commission at their October meeting. I'm not forgetting anything we can. We're working on comp plan. So if any of you would like to, you know, help work on that, we will certainly include you. We're going to be working on future land use map. And that is coming up next month. Take a look at that and see if we need to rezone some locations. We're looking mostly at Dump 360 and the intersection of our central garages up in that area. Possibility that we need to look at rezoning some of the properties there. We are also still looking at a possible water tower location. We have one that may possibly give us water down toward Commerce Park and loop around in that area and provide water to a lot of property in that vicinity. So that will be good.
For those applications that you're talking about, would those be applications that would be coming to us?
No, they're all going to the Planning Commission.
Just out of curiosity, what rezoning are you anticipating in the central garage, the 360 corridor?
We've got to look at it, but we, instead of having spot zoning where you might have one that's R1 and then one that's AC and then one that's B1 or B2 and then AC again, you kind of need to look at that and try to group it all and keep it all one zone instead of zigzagging up and down. And that's pretty much what we have right now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Any other questions from Ms. Graham? No. I'm kind of on the tail end of your request that we wanted to contribute and help. We actually established some goals this year that I haven't been very good at staying on track of. One of us that to help you guys with the comp plan or whatever it is that you guys need help with. So I'm available, and if you guys are available at all, then call up with some busy, but you can count me in on whatever part of that.
When we do have our group in here that we work together, we also pull it up and do it through Zoom. I know that sometimes it's not always, when you're working, it's not always easy to break away and come into a group, but if that's something that you want to do, I will certainly send emails out and just let me know and I'll send you the Zoom link.
I had a pretty good turnout at the last planning commission.
We did. recommended approval of the draft ordinance. And it will go to the Board of Supervisors on the 27th of this month.
Thank you, Ms. Brad. As a reminder, our next regular scheduled meeting is going to be on Wednesday, November 17th. So I have written down. And if there is no further business before us, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Chairman, I just wanted to revisit the conversation that Mr. Nolan brought up about trying to bring in the community members who are interested. If Ms. Wagner would be interested in joining in the secretarial capacity, I think that would, possibly be a good thing. We wanted to, utilize her willingness to serve.
Okay. It definitely right now we would probably have to do something concerning the bylaws because we got spoke that in. I think
Well, yeah. Well, I'm talking about approaching her about it for January. I mean, January is just.
I think that's a good idea.
Right around the corner.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yes. I mean, that gives obviously us time to speak with her and her to make a decision. Yeah, I'm not talking about next week.
Okay, sounds good. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there's no further business before us, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you very much.